You didn't wake up to a clear sign. There was no announcement, no dramatic event, no visible collapse. Yet something inside you feels undeniably different. It's subtle, almost quiet, but persistent enough to be noticed. You move through the same day, the same environment, the same responsibilities, but the way you experience them has shifted. And that's what makes this moment confusing. Nothing around you changed. People still speak the same way. Places still look familiar. Your routine continues as expected. And because the outside remains intact, you question the inside. You wonder if you're overthinking, imagining things, or simply tired. But this sensation doesn't come from exhaustion. It comes from awareness beginning to form where habit once lived. When change happens internally, it rarely announces itself. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for logic to approve it. It simply rearranges how energy flows through you. What once felt natural now feels forced. What once motivated you now feels distant. This isn't loss. It's misalignment revealing itself for the first time. You may notice it in conversations. Words that once felt easy now feel heavy. You listen, but something in you doesn't fully engage. It's not that you don't care. It's that your inner landscape has shifted, and the old emotional responses no longer match. This distance isn't rejection. It's a sign that your inner compass is Habits begin to feel uncomfortable, not because they are wrong, but because they belong to a version of you that is quietly dissolving. Repetition without meaning starts to drain energy, and when energy drains, clarity often follows, slowly, silently. This stage feels confusing because it sits between who you were and who you are becoming. The mind wants explanations. It searches for reasons, causes, mistakes, but inner change doesn't always come with a narrative. Sometimes it arrives as a feeling before it becomes a thought. Trying to force understanding too early only creates resistance. This phase is not about answers. It's about recognition. You might feel disconnected from goals that once defined you. Plans that once felt exciting now feel empty. This doesn't mean they were wrong. It means they served their time. Growth doesn't erase the past, it completes it. And completion often feels like confusion before it feels like clarity. There is a quiet discomfort in realizing that your inner world has moved ahead while your external life remains unchanged. It creates tension, a sense of waiting without knowing for what. This tension isn't a problem to solve. It's a signal that integration is still happening beneath the surface. Many people ignore this stage. They distract themselves. They force enthusiasm. They return to old patterns to feel familiar again. But familiarity is not the same as truth. When something no longer fits internally, forcing it externally only creates deeper exhaustion. Feeling different without visible change can feel isolating. You look around and wonder why no one else seems to notice. But inner shifts are deeply personal. They don't require witnesses. They require honesty. And honesty begins when you stop invalidating what you feel simply because you can't explain it yet. This phase doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means something is reorganizing. Awareness often arrives before direction, sensitivity before certainty, and confusion before coherence. This is the natural order of inner evolution, not a mistake, not a failure. You may feel less reactive, less impulsive, less attached to noise. Silence starts to feel necessary, not empty. This isn't withdrawal, it's integration. Your system is processing change without drama, without urgency, without external validation. Nothing around you changed, but you did. And that difference matters, even if it's invisible. Especially because it's invisible. This is where discernment begins, where you start sensing what aligns and what no longer does, without needing to justify it to anyone. There is no need to rush this stage. No need to define it. The moment you try to label it too quickly, you limit it. Let the feeling exist without explanation. Let it inform you slowly. This is how clarity forms without force. Interchange often feels lonely because it separates you from automatic belonging. You no longer blend in the same way. But this separation isn't abandonment, it's differentiation. You are becoming more distinct, more aware, more honest with yourself. This isn't about becoming someone new overnight. It's about releasing versions of yourself that no longer reflect who you are now. That release is subtle. It doesn't demand action yet. It only asks for presence. If you feel disoriented, it's because your inner reference points are shifting. Old markers no longer guide you. New ones haven't fully appeared. This space in between feels unstable, but it's where recalibration happens. You don't need to explain this change to anyone. Not yet. Not until it becomes clear to you first. Some processes mature in silence. Speaking too early can distort what's still forming. Notice what drains you now. Notice what feels neutral. Notice what still feels alive. These signals are subtle but consistent. They are not instructions. They are information. Nothing around you changed. And that's okay. External change comes later, if it comes at all. What matters now is alignment, not movement. Awareness, not action. You are not behind. You are not stuck. You are in transition. And transitions rarely look productive from the outside, but internally they are deeply active. This phase teaches patience without stagnation, trust without certainty, presence without answers. These are not small skills, they're foundations. Allow yourself to feel different without demanding resolution. This feeling is not asking to be fixed, it's asking to be acknowledged. When the next step becomes visible, it will all feel calm, not urgent. Clear, not forced. Integrated, not reactive. For now, it's enough to recognize this truth. Nothing around you changed, but you did, and that awareness is already a form of direction.